guys, and welcome to my channel. Once again, I hope everyone is enjoying Vlogmas, but if you do want to see any of my personal vlogs, those will be on my second channel, It's Ashley, and all the cameras that I use, anything that I edit with, some frequently asked questions, I will be leaving those in the description box, so always make sure to check that out, because a lot of times people will ask me, oh, what camera is that, or what do you edit with that? I always have that down below. So alright, you guys, I had to bring this one out the first week. I feel like it's long overdue, and you all have been so patient with me, so understanding. I wanted to check on some things to make sure what I could and couldn't say as well, so I decided it was time for us to talk about scheduling, because that is the key, the major focal point, the glue that holds it all together, scheduling. And let me just say, if anyone watches these videos and is a scheduler for an airline, what do you all do? Schedulers are like these mysterious people that work in the sky. They're like the little fairies that come and take your tooth from your pillow, and you don't really know what happened. You just wake up and you're like, oh, I got $1. That's nice. Where am I going with this? But it's just like schedulers make our schedules. How they determine what goes on, I really don't know the ins and outs of that. I would love to sit down with a scheduler and see if there was some kind of method to the madness, especially as a junior person, because to be honest, I think some days they're just like, we're gonna throw them for a loop today. We're just gonna do this. Thunderstorm hit, woo, free for all. And then some days I think they look at my seniority number, they're like, bless her heart, she's been going through it. She really was having a tough trip. You know what? I'm gonna give her this nice long 24-hour layover at the beach unexpectedly, knowing she couldn't hold it. I'm gonna give that to her. But long story short, scheduling, how does it work? What does it consist of? How many days am I off? All these things are questions that I get asked very often, and this video will be chatty. It might kind of be all over the place, but you guys don't seem to mind that. And it's easier for me to not like have a list where I'm like bam 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 talking things off. I just find it easier to get my point across conversationally like this. So let's talk about scheduling. First things first, I will address this. I have seen quite the difference in my schedule. Depending on where you're based at can make a huge difference in your schedule, and I think a lot of people don't understand this, but I know this because I've looked at schedules from people from different bases. Now, as you all know, I was based in Minnie my first month, so my schedule in Minnie was so drastically different in the summertime than it was now that I'm Atlanta based. The reason why I transferred was to make my commute easier. I was tired of double commuting. It was way too tiring. It was wearing me out. I was getting in trouble, you know, like, well, not getting in trouble, but just like making mistakes I shouldn't have because I was having to double commute and it was difficult. But when I bid, like, I'll just give you all an example. I bid for Los Angeles layovers last July in Minnesota. Every single trip, I think I had 4 trips on my line. Yeah, no, I had 3 trips on my line, and then I had 2 sets of A days, so 5 trips total. Every single trip, minus the A days, I had a Los Angeles layover. One was long, back-to-back, 24 hours, or no, 24 hours, then you leave, and then it was short, or something like that. But basically, that's what I asked for. I asked just to have that layover. I didn't really ask for anything else, and I got it. In Atlanta, I've asked for a Los Angeles layover every single month since October. I have yet to get one. So there you go. People that are based in New York also, for example, they can hold, someone at my seniority can hold Paris, Amsterdam. I'm trying to think of another really close one. There are Europe ones that are very short internationals. Paris, Amsterdam, and London, I think, did I say those 3? Someone New York based can hold that after flying only for 2 years, where you come to Atlanta, you hold London? No, you can't. So it varies with the base. New York is a very junior base, so there's always people being sent there. The new hires get to go there a lot. There's a lot of people underneath you, and that determines when you bid for something whether you get it or not. Now sometimes I think there's no method to the madness because we use a computer system to bid. So you can ask things, I'll give you examples of things you can ask for. You can ask for report time. So if you're not a morning person, you want to sign in later. You can ask to sign in the middle of the day. You can ask to sign in late if you prefer leanovers, if you prefer a layover that is 24 hours or longer, even if there's a certain plane that you want to fly, if there is a person that you want to fly with and you all swap your trips together, if you don't want your 8 days all together, if you want them separated. There are all these different options with scheduling, and with every airline there's a system where you bid. You ask for things that you want for that airline. The more junior you are, the less you get what you ask for. So when you come on the line month 1 and you see your schedule, you're like, oh, I have a schedule, like, or oh, okay, these are my off days. Or if you're on reserve, you see, okay, this is what I have to work with, and then you go from there. Now on your off days, you're not touched. Now there are situations in irregular operations where you can work into your off days. You get paid more for that, compensated for that, but that's just like you got stuck somewhere, there was a thunderstorm, there was a snowstorm, something like that. But off days are untouchable. You're off, there's nothing you can do, because with us we are required to have rest. Like, you have to have rest rules. Now we can be pushed into a longer day than we expected, but how long they cannot make me work a 20-hour day. That's not fair. There is a duty day, a length that you're allowed to work, and outside of that you have to have a layover. You have to be able to give accurate rest, no. You have to be able to be given enough rest to function on your next flight. So all these are things that go into scheduling. Now when I first start working, I would look at layover length. I liked longer layovers, even though sometimes that meant shorter duty days, and I liked layover cities. So I was trying to go to Miami, I was trying to go to Los Angeles, trying to go, to Dallas, to big city names, thinking, oh, this is gonna look so cool because I'm gonna get the geotag for Snapchat and it's gonna say MIA, and South Beach has all the good filters. So I would look at layovers. Now there are people, and as I've matured, in 1 year from now I look at credit time on trips. So a trip, credit time is how much that trip is worth. How much of that time are you actually flying in the air and getting your flight pay versus how much time you're on the ground getting paid just like your per diem. So I look at my trips and then I see, okay, let's work with this. I go online and there's this system that we have where we can swap our trips. So I can take a 3-day trip that I had and I'm like, I don't like that, it's only worth 15 hours, and swap it for, because open time in Atlanta is good. I have swapped trips that were like worth literally nothing to trips that were worth 20 hours, which is quite a bit. An international trip is like credited anywhere. I mean, they vary because it depends, short international, long international, and you all know I'm not an international girl at all, but I've had trips, domestic trips, that are worth more than an international trip, and I prefer that. Like, put me on a flight from Atlanta to Los Angeles. I don't care about it being East Coast to West Coast. I don't mind being on that plane for 4 hours. I like to do that and have those long legs, because the up down can get old. Now when I first started, this video might be kind of long, so you guys, I might break it up into 2 parts. I just thought about that. So when I first got on the line, or in Atlanta more specifically, I would have 4 legs a day on my trip. 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, crazy. So what that means is some of those flights would be too short to have a service. Some every single one would have a service, but I was working 4 legs a day, sometimes on like the worst planes, but that's because I was so junior, so I couldn't hold the better planes. I couldn't hold, a longer layover or less legs a day. Now every single month I put in, I don't want to work more than 3 legs in a day ever, and I get it, which is nice. I've only ever swapped off once, and because that was because I needed a layover for a certain city. But anyway, it's very flexible. What I'm trying to get at is with scheduling, as much as I can explain it, and I know the questions in the comments will probably be crazy, but it varies so much. You guys have to understand it all depends, and I can't say this enough. As much as I can explain it and like try to point things out, it still all depends, because my schedule can come out you know, on the day that it does of the month, and I look at it, and then by the time I'm done swapping, moving things around, doing this and that and other, it looks nothing like what it started with. And that's the beauty of this job. And especially for those people that are good at the bid system and like know how to work and manipulate their schedule, because there's people out there that are junior that, you know, have been flying no time and have figured out how to work the system, and they know how to ask for certain things and get what they want. I haven't figured that out, but I've tweaked it enough to where I'm happy when I see my schedule with what I'm getting. I know I'm gonna work on the weekend. That's fine. I don't mind it. Flying on the weekend isn't bad, but it's like, now I know if I'm gonna be working on the weekend, at least I'm gonna be laying over in a city where I can go do something or see family or be happy with my layover, you know? So it's really about what you make of it. I will never like give my bid secrets away or like tell someone, oh, this is exactly how I bid to get this, because everyone wants different things, and it's like if you tell everyone how you bid, then everyone's gonna start doing that, and if they're more senior than you, they'll hold it. So, you know, you don't want to necessarily give it away. Once you find something that you bid for that works for you, then definitely keep doing it, tweak it, because you will have to tweak it month to month, especially I would say your first year. Regardless of how much you really put in and like ask for things, you won't really see the change until you gain some seniority. Unless, I mean, depending on where you're based at, if it's a very junior base, you might. But yeah, so I think that's enough. There will be a part 2 tomorrow on this video. I will have the same outfit on, but I'm just going to break this up into 2 videos just because this one's getting a little long. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. I'm posting all my Vlogmas videos at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so tune in for that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!